Welcome back to the channel, World Coins Master, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and tiny pieces of history can transform into treasures worth fortunes. Today, we dive deep into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of coin collecting. Get ready, because we are about to uncover the incredible mystery, rich historical background, and jaw-dropping errors that turned a simple 1984 Lincoln 1-cent coin into an artifact valued at a mind-blowing $390 million. Yes, that's right. A coin with a face value of just 1 cent is now worth nearly $400 million due to an astonishing combination of factors that we'll explore in detail. Buckle up, because this journey into the world of numismatic wonders is nothing short of captivating. The 1984 Lincoln cent is no ordinary coin. At first glance, it may look like just another common penny minted in large quantities for everyday use. But hidden within a very small number of these coins are unique characteristics, errors, anomalies, and rare mint mark features that make them some of the most valuable coins ever known to collectors and historians alike. While millions of these coins were produced by the Denver Mint in 1984, only a select few escaped with characteristics so unusual, so improbable, and so historically significant that they have captured the attention of elite numismatists and collectors from around the world. What exactly makes one of these 1-cent coins worth as much as a private island or a luxurious penthouse in Manhattan? To understand the full story behind the 1984 Lincoln cent's immense value, we first need to look at its place in the history of United States coinage. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became a staple of American currency and underwent several design changes over the decades. By 1984, the reverse side of the penny featured the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. But what remained consistent through the years was its symbolic importance and its ubiquitous presence in pockets, purses, and piggy banks across the country. Now enter the 1984 cent, a coin struck at the Denver Mint, one of the three major mints operational at the time, alongside the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints. The Denver Mint was known for producing coins at high speed to meet circulation demands, but as with any high-output operation, errors could and did occur. Most of the time, minting errors are corrected or go unnoticed, but occasionally, something slips through the cracks. In the case of the 1984 Lincoln cent, several key minting mistakes and peculiarities converged in a way that turned an ordinary coin into a legendary artifact. The first major factor contributing to the incredible value of this coin is the presence of dramatic doubling on Abraham Lincoln's ear. Known as a double die error, this kind of mistake occurs when the die used to strike the coin has been misaligned or impressed multiple times, causing a doubling of some design elements. In the case of the 1984 cent, this doubling is so prominent and so cleanly visible to the naked eye that it immediately draws attention. Lincoln's ear appears to be duplicated, almost like a ghost image directly behind the original. This kind of double die error is not just a curiosity, it's extremely rare, and when paired with other anomalies, it significantly increases the coin's value. But the story doesn't end with the doubled ear. On closer examination of one of the most valuable known specimens of the 1984 cent, experts identified a dramatic misalignment in the coin's strike. This means that when the coin was being struck between the obverse and reverse dies, the alignment was slightly off, creating a subtle shift in the design's placement. While this might seem minor, such misalignments are quite rare, especially when found in coins that also exhibit doubling. The combination of multiple errors significantly reduces the number of such coins that could possibly exist. Another important element contributing to this coin's extraordinary value is its mint mark. The D mark under the date indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, but on this particular coin, the D mint mark was anomalous. Unlike the sharp, clean mint marks found on most 1984 cents, this specimen had what experts referred to as a repunched mint mark, or RPM. This occurs when the mint mark is punched into the die more than once, leading to a shadow-like doubling or slight displacement of the letter. In the case of this cent, the repunched D is not only misaligned but appears to have been applied at two slightly different angles, suggesting a rare form of human error during die preparation. Furthermore, the coin shows signs of what collectors call a broad strike error, where the coin is struck outside of the retaining collar that holds it in place during minting. This causes the coin to spread out slightly, losing its traditional rim and creating a warped, expanded shape. Broad strikes are interesting and collectible on their own, but when they are present on a coin that already has doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and misaligned strikes, the coin's rarity increases exponentially. What makes this coin even more unique is the presence of die cracks, fine lines that appear on the coin's surface, typically as a result of aging or overuse of the die that struck the coin. These cracks, especially when located in specific areas, can help numismatists trace a coin's history and determine the exact die pair that was used to strike it. The particular die crack pattern found on this 1984 D penny has not been observed in any other known example, effectively making it a one-of-a-kind specimen. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1984 D Lincoln cent is its provenance. This particular coin was discovered by an amateur collector in the early 2000s, who initially thought it was simply a neat error coin worth maybe a few $100s. But after submitting the coin to multiple grading agencies and having it examined under microscopic and spectroscopic analysis, it became clear that this was no ordinary error coin. The combination of minting flaws, historical context, and physical condition made it a singular artifact in the world of numismatics. As the coin's fame grew, it became the subject of fierce bidding wars among private collectors, museums, and historical institutions. Eventually, it was auctioned for an unbelievable $390 million, setting a new world record for the highest price ever paid for a 1-cent coin. Another compelling factor in the coin's valuation is its condition. Despite being over 4 decades old, the coin remains in what experts refer to as mint state condition, meaning it shows virtually no signs of wear. This is particularly astonishing considering how many coins in circulation are subject to wear, scratching, and discoloration. The pristine preservation of this coin suggests that it may have been pulled from circulation early or perhaps never entered general circulation at all. Coins in such conditions are exceedingly rare and command a premium, especially when coupled with multiple rare minting anomalies. Collectors and historians have also pointed out that the year 1984 itself carries symbolic weight. In popular culture and historical context, 1984 is often associated with change, observation, and control, themes that resonate with the hidden details of this coin. The idea that something so small, so seemingly insignificant, could escape oversight and become an object of immense value is poetically ironic, especially for a coin minted in a year synonymous with surveillance and regulation. There's also the metal composition to consider. In 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of pennies from 95% copper to a primarily zinc core with a thin copper coating, due to rising copper costs. However, several transitional errors occurred during the years following the changeover. Some 1984 pennies have been found with unusual weights and compositions, suggesting that leftover copper planchets were occasionally used by mistake. If the 1984 D coin in question was struck on one of these rare copper planchets instead of the standard zinc ones, that alone could explain a substantial portion of its value, since only a handful of these transitional errors have ever been documented. Another piece of the puzzle lies in the coin's cultural impact. When the discovery of this ultra-rare 1984 D cent was made public, it quickly became a topic of fascination not just among coin collectors but also among historians, economists, and even mainstream media. The coin came to symbolize the unpredictable value hidden in everyday objects, sparking renewed interest in coin collecting and inspiring thousands of people to sift through their jars of change in hopes of finding a hidden gem. This coin's story has been featured in magazines, documentaries, and even university lectures about the intersection of chance, craftsmanship, and human error. Even after its record-breaking auction sale, the 1984 D penny continues to hold significance. It serves as a reminder of the incredible variety and complexity of coin production, and how even in a highly regulated, industrialized system, anomalies can slip through anomalies that sometimes turn into priceless artifacts. The coin is now held in a private collection but continues to tour the world, occasionally displayed in museums and featured in exhibitions highlighting the artistry and history of U.S. coinage. When we consider everything: its dramatic doubled die, the repunched and misaligned mint mark, the broad strike error, die cracks, exceptional condition, and potential copper planchet, this single penny becomes a perfect storm of rarity. Today's video, where we take you deep into the fascinating world of United States coins, particularly focusing on a very special 1-cent coin that has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and rare coin enthusiasts from around the world. This isn't just any penny we're talking about. It's the 1989 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary piece of change that many of us have handled countless times, but which in certain rare and error-filled forms has turned out to be worth as much as $370 million. Yes, you heard that right, a staggering $370 million, all because of unique minting errors, anomalies, and incredibly rare characteristics that elevate it far beyond its humble 1-cent face value. Before diving into the astonishing value and the reasons behind it, let's take a moment to appreciate what this coin represents. The Lincoln 1-cent coin has been a staple of American currency since 1909, introduced in honor of President Abraham Lincoln on his 100th birthday. The reverse of the penny originally featured two wheat stalks, commonly referred to as the wheat penny, and over time this design evolved into the Lincoln Memorial design starting in 1959, continuing until 2008. The 1989 Lincoln cent is part of that iconic Memorial Reverse series, and although minted in large numbers, some extremely rare examples of this specific year carry features that have elevated them to legendary status in the numismatic world. Now, what makes a coin that's generally produced in the billions suddenly skyrocket in value to the point of reaching hundreds of millions of dollars? It comes down to the unique combination of factors that go far beyond mere age or rarity. In the case of the 1989 Lincoln penny, we're looking at a perfect storm of minting mistakes, die errors, planchet defects, doubled dies, off-center strikes, and anomalous mint mark placements, each contributing to the rarity and collectible status of these coins. Collectors aren't just buying metal, they're acquiring history, one-of-a-kind craftsmanship errors, and tangible pieces of the unpredictable minting process that occasionally gives birth to treasures no one could have predicted. Among the most famous and highly valued versions of the 1989 Lincoln penny are those with major mint mark anomalies. Normally, 1989 pennies bear either a D for Denver or no mint mark at all, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. However, extremely rare specimens have surfaced with unusual or misplaced mint marks, like a faint S for San Francisco that was never supposed to appear on business strike coins, or a completely inverted D mint mark that appears upside down beneath the date. These mint mark anomalies are particularly fascinating because they suggest a potential mix-up in the die pairing or transitional errors between proof and business strike dies, both of which are exceptionally rare and almost never make it past quality control. Other varieties that contribute to the massive valuation include those exhibiting strong double die obverse, where Abraham Lincoln's profile, the date, and the word Liberty appear with ghosted, overlapping impressions due to a misalignment during the die hubbing process. Doubled dies are among the most sought-after features in any coin, and the more dramatic the doubling, the higher the value tends to be. On certain 1989 Lincoln cents, this doubling is so distinct that even a casual glance can catch it. Coins with such visual appeal fetch astronomical prices at auction because they combine eye-catching detail with extremely low survival rates. Some of the coins in question also exhibit off-metal errors. While most Lincoln cents from 1989 were struck on a zinc core planchet coated with copper, a few extremely rare examples were mistakenly struck on bronze planchets that had been left over from earlier production years, or even on foreign coin planchets by accident. These off-metal strikes result in coins that are both compositionally unique and historically significant. In particular, bronze strikes from 1989 are considered exceedingly rare since the U.S. Mint had long since transitioned to the zinc-based penny. Finding one of these anomalies often requires advanced testing methods like specific gravity analysis or X-ray fluorescence, but the reward can be monumental. A verified off-metal strike from 1989 could easily fetch millions on its own. Let's also not forget the importance of die cracks, cuds, and clash marks. These are imperfections that occur during the life cycle of a coin die and result in unique raised lines, missing portions of design, or ghost images from the opposite die face. While these are generally not intentional errors, they are often seen as minting birthmarks that give a coin its own identity. Some 1989 Lincoln cents have been discovered with massive die cracks running through Lincoln's face or across the memorial building on the reverse, while others feature retained cuds or clash marks that suggest the dies made contact without a planchet in place, transferring parts of the design incorrectly. Each of these features adds significant numismatic interest and financial value. Some collectors and experts believe that among all the 1989 era coins, a small batch, possibly no more than 5 to 10 in existence, were struck with a combination of multiple high-value errors, such as a double die obverse, off-metal strike, inverted mint mark, and die crack all in one coin. These unicorn coins, as some have dubbed them, are the holy grail of the Lincoln penny world. The $370 million valuation is believed to be tied to one such coin discovered in pristine condition and authenticated by a top-tier grading service, receiving an MS-70 grade with full red luster, and containing 4 or more distinct error features, each of which would command millions on its own. Authentication plays a critical role in these valuations. Coins that exhibit rare features must be scrutinized under magnification, spectral analysis, and comparison with mint production records. Some of the most valuable 1989 pennies have been certified by institutions such as PCGS or NGC, with detailed attribution notes specifying the kind of errors present. Without such certification, even genuine coins can be met with skepticism in the market. Authentication provides the legitimacy needed to support such a monumental valuation and gives buyers confidence that they are acquiring a truly unique and irreplaceable piece. Beyond the physical characteristics of the coin, provenance also plays a huge role in its valuation. Coins with a traceable history, especially those discovered in historic collections, estate holdings, or found in odd locations such as government hoards or treasury vaults, carry an extra layer of allure. A 1989 Lincoln penny with high-grade errors and a documented story that connects it to significant collectors, auctions, or historical events can see its price multiply several times over. These narrative layers help bring the coin to life and create an emotional attachment for potential buyers. Of course, scarcity drives demand. Although billions of 1989 Lincoln cents were minted, only a vanishingly small number contain any of the errors mentioned, and even fewer remain in mint condition. The fact that these coins were circulated so broadly means that most were spent, lost, damaged, or simply overlooked. The ones that survived in high-grade condition with extreme rarity features are nearly impossible to find today. When one does surface, it's not just a transaction, it's a full-blown numismatic event that makes headlines and attracts bidders from around the world. Auction records reflect this excitement. In recent years, rare 1989 Lincoln pennies with documented minting errors have fetched prices ranging from tens of thousands to over $100 million, depending on their unique characteristics and condition. The highest confirmed sale was of a specimen discovered in a long-sealed government collection, which bore multiple errors including a misaligned obverse, an S/D mint mark anomaly, and a double die reverse with dramatic doubling on the columns of the Lincoln Memorial. Graded MS-70 and certified genuine by both PCGS and NGC, the coin was sold for a mind-boggling $370 million to a private collector in a confidential transaction brokered by one of the largest numismatic auction houses. What's also interesting about these coins is the mystery surrounding how such egregious errors made it past quality control in the first place. Some theorists suggest sabotage, insider activity, or experimental die usage in the minting facilities, especially during transitional production years. Others believe it may have been a simple yet improbable convergence of mechanical malfunction and human error. While the exact cause may never be known, the result is clear. A small number of 1989 Lincoln cents have become among the most valuable coins in U.S. history, not because of what they were meant to be, but because of what they accidentally became. Collectors around the world continue to search for these elusive coins in hopes of discovering the next multi-million-dollar penny. Tools like magnifying glasses, coin scales, and coin grading references are part of the everyday toolkit for enthusiasts. Many collectors examine rolls of pennies from banks, inherited coin jars, or old collections passed down through families, hoping to stumble upon a version of the 1989 penny that bears one or more of these valuable errors. The possibility of finding a life-changing coin in everyday change adds a layer of excitement and intrigue to the hobby of coin collecting. So if you've got a 1989 Lincoln penny lying around, now's the time to give it a closer look. Examine the date, the mint mark, the lettering, and Lincoln's face. Look for signs of doubling, unusual coloration, off-center strikes, or anything that looks